Welcome to Animated Tops and Flops, where we dive into the best and worst episodes of your favorite animated series. My name is Alyssa.
And my name is Janice. We are super fans of cartoons, animation, you name it. So we have a podcast. So come and join our tour of Springfield as we continue our talk of The Simpsons. For our top today, we will be discussing episode 2 of season 8. This is You Only Move Twice, which has a 9.2 rating.
And our flop for today is going to be episode 1, season 27, rated at a 5.6, Every Man's Dream.
Dun, dun, dun.
Well, let's talk about our top.
Let's talk about our top. This
Janice.
is such
Yes.
a good episode.
Yes, I'm so ready. My body is ready.
Yes.
Give us a synopsis. I cannot wait to hear your synopsis of this episode.
I'm going to relive this for everybody. Okay, we open on a mysterious car following Smithers on a beautiful sunny day. Globex is harassing Smithers on their way to work for them. And Smithers is like, no, I'm happy at my job. And they move on to the next senior person at the company, who is Homer Simpson. So, of course, he immediately says yes, he takes the job. To get a little bit closer to his dream of owning the Dallas Cowboys. After a very convincing video, the family is on board to move to Cypress Creek for Homer's dream. The Simpsons abandon their home and move into a self-cleaning, gorgeous smart home. Enter Hank Scorpio through the front door, introducing himself during a marathon that he is running in and welcoming the Simpsons with a basket of fruit. Homer's first day consisted of Hank Scorpio showing Homer around the office, and Bart had met a similar version of Milhouse at school, but was kicked to the remedial program for not being able to read cursive. Lisa is allergic to literally everything in the forest and cannot get rid of her allergies, and Marge is bored as fuck, so she starts to J drink. Hank struggles to keep up productivity and asks, sorry, that's supposed to say Homer. Homer, break. Homer is struggling to keep up productivity with his team at work and asks Hank for office hammocks. Hank agrees and turns around to threaten the White House, and we then see Hank is very Bond villain-esque, but a fantastic boss to Homer and to his company. At home, the family is just not adjusting to Cypress Creek and wants to go back to Springfield. Homer quits for his family's happiness, sadly. A dream job that could get him a step closer to owning the Dallas Cowboys. So Hank understands, while fighting off the government in this crazy part of the office that he's never been to, and Hank gifts Homer the Denver Broncos as a parting gift. The end. There are so many good moments in between here, though, and we're going to talk about literally all of them.
Literally all of them.
Alyssa,
Yeah.
hit us with the chalkboard gag, hit us with the couch gag, and I want to hear right away one of your most favorite moments, because there are so many good moments in this.
Okay, before we jump into that, I'm going to quick go through the director and the writer.
Yes. Tell us about the writers and the directors.
So the director was Mike B. Anderson. He's done a couple before. He's only really ever done The Simpsons. And the writer, the head writer of this episode is John Swartzwelder. But literally, because this was one of the older episodes, it was the entire staff, the entire production team, everybody that started The Simpsons worked on this episode, basically. So it had a lot of people working on it. This episode aired November 3rd, 1996. And let's get into the chalkboard gag. The chalkboard gag is, I did not learn everything I need to know in kindergarten, which is a gag parody of the essay, All I Really Need to Know I Learned in Kindergarten. There's a book of essays that's called that, and it's parodied a lot in different places. And then the couch gag is the Simpsons parachuting onto the couch, but Homer's chute does not open, and so he just face plants onto the floor. And I think that's a great way to start this episode, because it's just so wonderfully chaotic from here on out.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh my god.
Absolutely. Um, Alyssa, what are your let's do
Yeah, I was like,
top
where do you want to start? Because I got so many.
I know. Okay, tell me some of your favorite moments.
Okay, the best moment of this entire episode for me was at the very, very end. Um, the delivery of the line that Hank Scorpio gives Homer as he's leaving is, Homer, on your way out, if you could kill somebody, it would help me a lot.
Yes, I have that too.
It's just like so nonchalant. He's like, hey man, I understand, but like, if you could kill somebody, that'd be so great. And Homer just like
Yes.
sulks out, like so unfazed by everything that's happening around him. And it's just so wonderful and lovely. And that's my favorite part. Do you have a different favorite part?
Yes.
Oh my god, I
That
want to
is
know.
definitely one of my favorite parts for sure. And then I have to tell you one that my coworker said when I mentioned we were doing this episode.
Yes.
Oh my god, he was so excited. Um so my favorite is Apu knocks on the door and he's like, hello, I'm not interested in buying your house, but I would like to use your bathroom. Rearrange your carefully shelved items, flip through your magazines, and handle your food products in a very unsanitary manner. Now, do you know how it feels? I thought that was so funny. Oh my god. And then one of my partners at work, he said his favorite moment is Homer goes into Hank's office and he's like, "Hey, what can I help you with?" And he's like, "Hey, do you have any sugar?" And he's like, "Sugar." And then just brings it out of his pocket. He's like, "Here you go." And he's like, "Do you want any cream?" And he's like, "Um, no."
That's on my list too. Because he's just like, yeah, I think I got some here. Just like grabs it. He's like, sorry, it's not packaged. It just like dumps
Yes.
it.
Okay, one-liners though. I got to
Oh
tell you
god.
one of my favorite
Yes,
one-liners.
please.
They're trying to sell their house, and Otto comes into their home and is like, "Whoa, windows! I don't think I could afford this place." We all feel you, Otto. We all feel you in
Oh
this
my gosh.
economy.
You must have other one-liners.
Ah, God, that sugar one is like on my
It
tops
it,
as
it is
well.
yeah, that one's definitely on one of my tops.
The "Can you kill people on the way out" is on my tops. Yeah, the chalkboard gag was so funny. Oh, Smithers at the very, very beginning. He's like, "Can't a man walk down the street and not be offered a
I
job?"
know. I was like, okay.
All right, Smithers.
All right, white man in America.
Yeah. What other ones do you have?
Oh my god. When they're like talking about leaving, and Marge goes, "But Bart's lawyer is here." And then like in the same situation, in the same scene, Lisa goes, "And people aren't shoving each other down." And Bart literally shoves her down and wait. Yeah, and he goes, "Me either." Like like he just shoves her down and he's like, "Yeah, I don't want to do that either."
Yes, and then Marge's too, where she was like, "Homer, I already dug myself into a rut in this place, and I don't plan on digging myself out."
Did he say like something like, "Oh, you could bring the rut with you"?
Yeah.
And then like after like when they're leaving, and Flanders is like, "You think maybe I could get back that like downstairs bathtub and those things that you borrowed from me?"
Oakley dokley.
That's it. That was it. Oakley dokley.
Oakley dokley.
Like it's just how I can't.
We just know these characters so well. It's like everything was just so on point, you know. It was great. It was fantastic. We didn't have to learn anything new about them to get the jokes. The jokes
No.
were just there because we've been with them for so long.
Oh god,
You
and
know?
I feel like it was all written so wonderfully. I feel like nothing was forced. Everything was very clean,
Yeah.
and it felt easy to laugh
Mhm.
at these jokes.
Yeah. Definitely.
So other than one-liners, give me some of your favorite moments.
Oh god. Um Definitely when they're trying to sell the house and like you see the chimney crumble right in front of them. It just crumbles into the yard. They're like, and this house is falling apart.
I forgot about that.
God, the sugar thing is just so iconic where he's like that. Or when Hank Scorpio first goes in, he's like, "Hi, I'm running a marathon. Oh, you like these shoes? Here, fuck it. I don't need them. You take them. Okay. You don't like them? Get rid of them. Goodbye." and just continues running a marathon. I'm like, wow, what an introduction. What an introduction.
The whole time I'm like, man, that guy is like on so much speed right now. Like he
Mm-hmm.
must be bumping cocaine every hour on the hour.
I mean, with his secret side, not so secret side hustle, I mean, I probably.
Maybe.
Okay, we have to discuss this because Hank Scorpio is a really good boss to his
He
employees
is
and has
such a good boss.
he's such a good boss. He built this like entire like place where people can work and like, build community, and then they just, and live like
Mhm.
it. He's like, "Oh, another story is going to be on your house when you go home," because he tackled the guy
Right?
when he was trying to run out. But it's like he's running this very clearly anti-American corporation. But is that why I love him so much? I mean,
Maybe.
I don't know. It's like just very, not that I'm like completely anti-American government.
But like,
You
what
know,
has it done for us as women? Not a lot of good things.
no,
So, we're
not
a
a lot
little
of good
salty.
things.
We're a little-
Yeah.
I would gladly work for a supervillain if it was a Hank Scorpio level boss.
Hands down.
Yeah.
Hands down. That was going to be my question. Would you work for Hank Scorpio?
1,000%.
Absolutely.
Just don't tell me what I'm doing. Just let me live in ignorance, and then we're all good.
Exactly. I would happily live in ignorance for Hank Scorpio.
Uh-huh. Yep. Our
God.
love for Hank Scorpio knows no bounds.
Yes, yes. He listens. He gives resources. He respects.
Yeah. He
just-
cares. He actually cares.
He does care.
Mm,
He cares about his employees.
yeah. And that's so
Homer,
nice of him.
it does suck. Like Homer had a great thing going,
Yeah.
and then but he did make the ultimate sacrifice for his family. Like
Yeah.
his family is most important end of day, and he did make that sacrifice. So
Yeah. Yeah. And Hank
that's a big move
Scorpio
for him.
did say, like, if you ever want to come back, just call me.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Any
I'm
other?
kind of sad. Yeah, I'm kind of sad that we didn't see Lisa in school. We just saw Bart getting held back.
I also thought that was interesting.
I wonder if it's because Lisa would have excelled at that school and she would have been someone who wanted to stay, and that would have not driven the plot forward. That would have just divided the family, and like we could have been in this episode for way too long.
And I think that happens so frequently with the family where Lisa's like, yeah, let's do this. And everyone else is like, this sucks. And she never gets her way. And so it was nice for her to like be a part of it all. And
Mhm.
I think you're 100% correct on that.
Yeah. Would have been interesting. But we do get an episode of The Simpsons where Lisa does excel and she moves up and Bart moves back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other pick up any other favorite moments?
I think those are like my top moments. Oh, okay. We have to mention Marge and the drinking. Every time she was like, "Oh, this house is just so clean. It cleaned itself. The robot vacuum is going. The sprinklers are sprinkling. I guess I'll have some wine." And it was like da da da.
I think my favorite part of that whole like bit was when she was like, I've started day drinking. I drink a glass of wine a day.
Yeah.
And then she goes, I know doctors say like it's healthy if you drink a glass and a half, but I just can't drink that much.
Yeah.
I'm like, Marge, this is why we love you.
So wholesome.
So freaking wholesome. Ugh. Oh my gosh. So I don't know if you noticed this, but while they were playing, first of all, the VHS tape showing them the town of Cypress Creek, which is so 90s and wonderful. When they turn all the bad buildings into like better buildings, literally all of them are coffee shops.
Oh my god, I didn't notice that.
Every single one is a different kind of coffee shop.
Oh my god.
I was like, I mean, okay, yeah, I get it.
I mean, perfect. Yeah, I would go to all of them.
Right,
Literally
every single
all of
one.
them.
And then everyone in the remedial class is voiced by Nancy Cartwright.
I knew it. Okay,
Yeah,
I knew
every
it.
single one. I'm like, these are all just Ralphs.
They are just Ralphs. They're all just different
different
versions
kind
of
of Ralph.
Ralphs.
I was like, she's not even trying to hide it. She's just like different versions of Ralph. And I was like, I kind of love that more though.
Yeah. Oh, that's perfect.
Uh, yeah, those are all mine. Yeah,
Yeah, I
we hit
have
them.
nothing bad to say about this episode. I mean,
Nothing.
it's really good.
Yeah. Okay, let's go into like fun facts we found out. Ew. What you got?
Yes, for fun facts, so Hank Scorpio was uh, is that even English that I wrote? I'm sorry. It said Boss Hank was perfectly played by anywho. Okay, so trivia facts, Hank, Homer's boss, was played by Albert Brooks, who also voiced the villain in the Simpsons movie.
Yeah.
Hank was so likable though that they had to make another movie for the Simpsons movie, another villain for the Simpsons movie. And I just like I agree. I agree completely.
Yeah.
Like
They were
Hank is just too good.
they
Like
were
we love him too
they
much.
were gonna bring him back. And then it was like he was I actually wrote something down. Yeah, he was too likable to turn into a full-blown villain, but they wanted to bring his character back, so they kept Albert Brooks and just changed the character.
Yes.
And I thought that was wonderful that they were like, no, this is gonna be you, but we're gonna change the character around, so it's gonna be a different person. Although, honestly, Russ Cargill, who is the villain in the movie, has the exact same kind of vibe, like
Mhm.
very chaotic. That's just Albert Brooks' MO, though.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he's fantastic.
I love him. What else you got?
Ba ba ba. I also have that Homer is disappointed at the end about owning the Denver Broncos. But as a matter of coincidence, the Broncos were among the NFL's top teams the year this episode aired and won the first of 2 consecutive Super Bowl titles a year later.
It's because they were told that they were poop, and they were like, we're not gonna let the Simpsons tell that this is reality. Not again.
Yeah, don't foretell our future.
How
We will
dare
tell
you?
you, Simpsons. Damn it. Oh, I love it. Okay, so another fun fact.
Mhm.
There was originally a subplot involving Grandpa Simpson, wherein he is left behind in Springfield and receives recorded phone calls. The plot went on for 4 sequences, all of which were cut from the episode for time constraints, but later included in the DVD release.
Oh my gosh.
I need the DVD release so
I
I can
know.
watch
I was
this.
like, I want to see this because leaving
Why do
Grandpa behind is very classic Simpsons.
It is, and it's so funny. Like that would have been so funny to have in the episode. I just okay, I have to voice my gripes here with
Ooh.
streaming services for a second.
Mhm.
I love streaming services. They're so convenient. I think it's a great thing to have for families who, can't always go out to the movies and you can stream stuff at home, and for people who can't store thousands of DVD box sets like in their home.
Mhm.
I think it's
Yeah.
a wonderful invention. Like, thank you, streaming services. However, my one gripe is if there's like a DVD cut or like an extended cut, put the extended cut on there. Let
Yeah.
us all see like the glory,
Or
you
like give us
know?
the option when we click into it. Like if we click into like The Office, right? There should be an option for the normal aired version or like the director's cut. And also like any bloopers if they're on like, like give it to us all. Pretend you're a DVD.
Exactly. Exactly. That's the one thing that I'm missing from streaming services. And I'm like, now I have to go down like a YouTube rabbit hole, or now I have to
Mhm.
buy the DVD and find a DVD player or a TV that'll put a DVD inside of it if they make those anymore. I'm
Right.
like, who knows?
Yeah, I wonder why they don't do that because like why?
Yeah,
Why?
why?
What
Is
if I
it
want to
bandwidth?
like what if I want to hear the commentary? Okay, like I can't be banned. I mean, maybe. That would be a lot of bandwidth. But I feel like we're in a day and age where we could get an unnecessary amount of bandwidth and be fine.
Isn't there now like infinity bandwidth? I'm not a techie. I don't know tech, but isn't there like infinity bandwidth now? I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. That sounds right.
I don't know. It tagged Netflix or Apple or whoever. Hulu, Disney Plus. That's what they're on. Hulu, Disney Plus. Hulu, Disney Plus. What are you
Oh,
doing?
well, Disney owns everything, so I assume that they own infinite bandwidth.
Disney.
And
What are you
also, the
doing?
new moon coming in. I assume Disney will own that as well.
Probably. Mm-hmm.
I know
Mm-hmm.
you didn't think about it until I said it, and now you're like, oh my god, they might.
I mean, yes. Damn. Disney. I gotta buy Disney stock.
Everybody buy Disney stock before the meteor comes
Yes.
in.
Quick. Buy the Disney stock. The S&P is at the highest it's ever been, though, as of a couple days ago.
Oh, wow. Good for us.
I know, right? Yay, investments.
All right.
Anywho, this is not a financial podcast.
Obviously, we're silly gooses. We don't really know financial stuff.
We don't know anything.
No.
Just kidding.
We know it.
We do know some
We
stuff.
know something.
Alyssa, you got any fun facts?
We have so many.
Give us more.
Okay. Meow. So, Albert Brooks, who we said playing Hank Scorpio, ad-libbed nearly all of his lines, and it would be a bad idea to try to capture lightning in a bottle with that character again, which is another reason why they decided to not go with Hank Scorpio in the movie. The Simpsons put their house up for sale, and this is the first time in the series that it's confirmed that they own their home rather than rent it. The episode, this was my own little fun fact that I made. The episode aired the same year as one of Albert Brooks's best movies, in my opinion, called Mother, which stars him and Debbie Reynolds. And it is so good. And it basically just follows this man who gets divorced in his 30s and he moves back in with his mom and he learns how to like be himself again and he finds himself and he learns how to like respect his mother as a person and not just like his mother kind of thing. And it's very sweet and it's very funny and it's very Albert Brooks. Just throwing that out there. The episode's title is from the Bond film You Only Live Twice. And the sign at the elementary school that they go to in Cypress Creek displays www.studynet.edu, and Weinstein called it one of the show's most obviously dated jokes because the idea of a school having its own website was almost a novelty in 1996.
What?
So like we saw it and we were like, oh yeah, whatever, but like that was like unheard of, like unnecessary. No school needs a website.
Oh my god. Girl,
feels too good.
Wild.
That's all I have. That's all.
A cute little one. Lisa comes across a northern reticulated chipmunk, although such a species does not exist.
And you know what? I would have taken that as fact that it does, because I'm very gullible, and I would be like, "Oh, that looks like the chipmunk I have near me. It must be a reticulated chipmunk." And then I'd sound
a northern reticulated
reticulated chip, and then people would be like, "The fuck is that?" I'm like, "But the Simpsons said it was."
Yeah. Lisa said it, so it must be true.
I learn all my learnings from the Simpsons.
All right, let's wrap up the top. So, yes. Alyssa, final thoughts on this top. Does it deserve to be up here? Does it deserve to be higher? How are you feeling?
I personally would put it higher. Maybe like 9.7, 9.8, because it is just so good and it's so clean and I cannot find anything wrong with it. I just think it's so wonderfully done and so funny. And I am a little biased because I love Albert Brooks, but like, that's my opinion. Up there. What about you?
I absolutely agree. The writing on this is so sophisticated, and I think it belongs at like a 9.8, like 9.8, 9.9.
Yeah, up there. Freaking up there, man.
It's up there.
Wow, that's the highest.
It's really up there for me.
That is so far the highest we've rated any episode.
Yeah, I mean, truly, there is really like nothing wrong with this. I'm now missing Grandpa, knowing that there was 4 like cutaway Grandpa scenes. Now I'm just missing that.
Right.
But...
if I see that, then I'll be complete.
Exactly.
Okay.
So good.
Hank Scorpio until next time.
Yes.
Let's move on to our flop.
All right. So, Alyssa, would you like to introduce our flop?
Our flop is once again season 27, episode 1, titled Every Man's Dream. It is rated at a 5.6, which is currently the lowest rated episode that we are reviewing at this time. So, Janice, with that being said, give us a synopsis.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, so Homer falls asleep at work and ends up in the hospital after a work accident and is diagnosed with narcolepsy, Homer, of course, abuses his diagnosis to get out of his parental and husband duties. Homer's neglect drives his marriage straight to counseling, and they have gone to every counselor from A to Z, this being the Z, so the very last straw. Homer falls asleep during counseling, which sends us into this inception layered dream plot of Homer separating from Marge and dating the pharmacist, waking up to the relief of reality of being in marriage counseling to recognize his neglect. It was a very short synopsis.
Man, you're missing the very, very end.
Am I missing the end?
Where we realized it was just Marge's dream all along.
Fucking fuck. Did I not finish the episode?
Did you not?
I may have fell asleep.
I mean, it was an episode about narcolepsy, so I get it.
I've seen it before. I don't remember it ending with Marge, though.
Actually, it ends with Marge, and then it cuts away again and ends as a parody in a scene from Girls on HBO.
Yes. Ends with Marge. Marge's dream. And ends up
It's like
as Girls.
Yeah, like it's like just like a tattoo on Lena Dunham's arm.
God, this episode. I didn't understand it at all.
That's fair.
I didn't watch Girls.
I didn't watch Girls either. When I was like looking up facts, I was like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. I didn't understand this episode.
Yeah, no, it was confusing. It was like
I feel dumb.
It was a moment of like Marge and Homer, and then it like turned into a tattoo of Marge and Homer in the bed on Lena Dunham's arm, and then the main guy from Girls that I can't remember, but
Adam Driver.
Yeah, Adam Driver's like, "What's that tattoo about?" And she goes, "Never get drunk in Brooklyn," like kind of thing. And then like that's the end of the episode.
God, I don't understand this at all.
No, I don't think they wanted you to.
I don't think so either. I think it was just a Girls like an Inception fan thing on The Simpsons. I really don't understand what happened here. Alyssa, tell us about the writers and directors. Maybe we can make sense.
Yes. It's not going to help you at all, actually. It's just going to make you more confused.
Release your expectations.
So the director is Matthew Nastuk, who's mostly just done The Simpsons, nothing really notable. But the writer is J. Stewart Burns, who has done The Simpsons, 73 episodes of Futurama, and 2 episodes of Beavis and Butthead. So I'm like kind of shooketh that something that this person wrote ended up being a flop. Yeah.
I don't want to say something like mean, but I'm holding back here. What? Like I don't understand. You could be on so many incredible episodes and then what? You know? Okay, I'm gonna back up for a second. Not everything you write is gonna be great. And this just happened to be the one bad egg out of the 72 episodes of Futurama. Yeah.
You know, and you know, he's done other Simpson stuff. He's won some awards. I didn't look too deep into it, but like, you know, he's a good writer. And like, I don't think the writing in this episode was bad. I think the idea was poorly executed. And as I was like looking for fun facts, and I know we're not really there yet, but this kind of like will help you maybe understand a little bit more.
Yeah.
People, when this was like being teased, I guess, you know, in like commercials and stuff, people considered it like this episode to be a ratings trap because the commercials did tease that Marge and Homer were splitting for good, and so people were like excited to see like what was happening and everything, and they felt like they were taken advantage of because none of it was actually real. And I think that's one of the main reasons why this episode is so like down there in the ratings, because people were, you know, nobody likes to feel like they were taken advantage of.
Yeah, you don't want to be duped.
Yeah.
You know? You were truly duped.
Yeah.
You were led one thing and they completely switched it out.
Mm-hmm. And they could have done something like Who Shot Mr. Burns? You know, and they didn't.
Yeah. Yeah, like keep it, I don't know, just keep it a mystery or
Yeah, don't try to tell us one thing when really it's something else because we don't like when they treat us like we're children, like we're dumb. That's
Mhm.
when that's when things go south. Like, don't do that. Please don't do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. I That's why I think the Hank Scorpio at You Only Move Twice was so good
Mm-hmm.
because they didn't treat us like we were dumb. They treated us like we've been watching since day one
Yep.
and we didn't have to work at all.
Yeah.
We knew these characters. Like we know the jokes. Everything is funny.
Yeah. Like
And this is just
this
this was a stretch.
this was a stretch. I think they were just I think honestly they were trying to find ratings and they needed to boost them up, and this was a great easy way to do it, is to trick people into thinking one thing when it's really another.
Yeah, but at the cost though, the cost of your fandom, you know? I mean, this
Yeah.
was what, season 27?
Yeah, season 27. It aired 2015.
Yeah, it's like when you do cheap tricks like this, it's you're going to lose your loyal fans.
Yeah.
It's like you yeah. But it is hard. I mean, think about the shows that have been on for so long. They don't stay the same.
No.
Like think about Survivor.
Mm.
Survivor has been on the air for over like 20 years, and it's still going.
Mm-hmm.
And it's changed. It is not the same game that it was on day 1 or season 8 or even season 40 or 41. It keeps evolving, it keeps changing. And that's exciting, but it's hard when you've built such a very specific world with these characters that we've known for so long. It's like how do you keep it fresh? How do you
Yeah. And that's I mean, yeah, that's kind of like the problem is like how do you keep it fresh? It's been going on forever, and because this is a series where I can't remember the name of it, but there's like a name for a series where like the characters do not grow up. Like so
mm,
like because it's like they can't actually like age these characters up at all because they've already
right.
set a precedence where like they don't age, which is why I think especially in the later seasons they really push for episodes where like you see them grown up because they can't actually do that, but they have so many ideas of them as adults. So you see a lot of the episodes in the later seasons of them as adults, and I love those because you don't ever get to see them as adults. They're
Mhm.
always kids, and so when you do get to see them grown up, it's like I don't know, it's nice to watch. Even if the episode sucks, it's still like nice to watch.
Yeah. I think one of the first ones they tried that out on was Lisa finds her husband.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was like one of the first ones they tried or
Yeah.
something, but it was good. Like it was pretty good.
Yeah, because it's different, right? It's like, oh.
Yeah. And like we love The Simpsons because like they do satirical episodes of specific things
Mm-hmm.
like Streetcar Named Desire was a really fun one. That's very, very early. I think like season
Yeah.
4, season 3, maybe even.
One of my favorites is the one of the Treehouse of Horrors that is the Raven.
Yes, I think that's the first Treehouse of Horror too.
It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, that's one that used to be scary too. That the house that like kicked them out because they sucked and it
Yeah.
was haunted. They're like, whoa.
Because like I don't know, I loved that poem growing up. It like always sounded like music to me, and so I got to see it on The Simpsons. And like the second that Bart walked in as the Raven, I was like, I'm in. You got me. I'm loving it.
Nevermore, nevermore.
Why you little?
That's a really good episode.
Anyway, we're not talking about the good episodes.
Yeah, we're talking about the flop.
Janice.
Yeah, sorry.
No, I wasn't like Janice. I was like Janice. Tell us
Oh,
about.
Janice.
It was a happy Janice.
Janice.
Janice. Tell us about your favorite
Yes.
moments,
Uh,
if you can.
oh God. Do I remember my favorite moments?
Or the dream you had when you fell
Oh.
asleep.
Watching the episode. Guilty. To be fair, I had the flu.
It's true. It's true. We'll allow it.
Possibly. It's a mystery. We'll never know. Maybe it was food poisoning. Maybe it was the flu.
Maybe
we're
it was
we're
both.
aiming for what? Flu?
We're
Food
hoping.
poisoning?
Yeah. What food poisoning? It sounded too aggressive for food poisoning. But like nothing saying it couldn't be both. Like that's like the perfect storm of awful.
True. True. Okay, so I do remember one of my favorite.
Yes.
I have two favorite moments, and they're
Good.
both one-liners. Um, when Bart's like, "Hey, my parents are divorced now. Flanders, can I cry on your shoulder?" And he's like, "Boys, get my tear dicky."
Yeah.
The second one is Smithers. Burns for some reason falls into a statue of his own hands, and he's like, "Smithers, come up my rear and grab me." And he's like, "Yes, sir." And just
Yes.
climbs up the rear of the statue to go
Yes.
get him.
That's one of mine. It's Homer's playing chair dominoes with like the wheeling chairs because he's sleeping in the office, and he pushes them and they like fall, and like Burns just happens to walk at the perfect time, and so the chair hits him. He just falls out the window.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
Ugh.
that was a good moment. I have that too.
And I do love a good quip. Like, I love some good quips, and we're here. Everyone came by and asked him to do things. He was like, "Narcolepsy, narcolepsy." But it was after a very quick, "Now don't be abusing
Yep.
this." Dr. Hibbert being like, "Don't be abuse your narcolepsy diagnosis to get out of chores." And he's like, "Oh no, of course I won't." "Yeah, narcolepsy, narcolepsy,
The
narcolepsy."
pharmacy called narcolepsy. Yeah, for your
Yeah.
narcolepsy medicine.
And I thought it was really funny how like foam just came out of his mouth and like went back in when he was sleeping. I was like, "What the fuck is that?"
I like the sound that it made.
Ooh.
I don't know if I can like replicate it, but it was like some ASMR for you.
We love it. ASMR. That had to be like a candy wrapper or something, like a or like a. I'm not a Foley artist,
I know,
but if I was, that
whatever
would
they
be
used, it itched my brain real good.
yes. I wish we could like see the Foley artists for The Simpsons. I think that would be really fun.
Oh, I bet they have a lot of fun.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. We talked about the writers.
Mhm.
We talked about the directors.
Mhm.
We talked about some favorite moments. Alyssa,
I have so many.
do you
favorite
have
moments.
any more favorite
I
moments?
do.
Tell us about them.
Okay, so the couch gag. There's a couch gag. There was no chalkboard gag, unfortunately. This is not one
No,
of
this was
those.
like a weird.
Yeah, sometimes they just don't do them.
What's with The Simpsons in the later seasons where it's like the banner and like
Yeah.
we're coming in from the clouds and it's like
Mhm.
zip lining or
I think they just try to make it
weird.
fun, and then depending on how long the episode is, they'll cut the beginning sequence. So if it's a shorter episode, it'll be a longer beginning sequence, and like vice versa. So no chalkboard gag.
I like the chalkboard gags. I think
Also,
that's
the
fun.
couch gags are like they get longer in the later seasons, and I think that also kind of stops them from doing the chalkboard gags and like the longer intros because like they want to spend a lot of time on the couch gag, and like I get it. Some of them don't hit. The shorter couch
No.
gags tend to hit more because they're so quick.
Yeah.
But this couch gag was different album covers of Beatles albums.
Mhm.
Beatles albums. There you go. Different covers of Beatles albums. Got it. And like it was fine. There's nothing crazy to it. It was just meh.
Yeah.
Um,
Favorite moments.
Yes. So I have a favorite one-liner where Marge says, "You can't spend half your life napping," and I was like sitting there and I was like, strongly disagree. That sounds wonderful.
Also agree.
Homer's daydream of him marrying himself, which I don't know why it like got me so good, but it was like him marrying himself, and then he walks in with a baby, and he's like, "But what about our child?" And it was just Homer, and then the dog starts talking, and the window starts talking, and Homer comes out of it, and he just goes, "Wow, talking windows."
It's like that's all you got from that Homer.
I know, that's all I got. Kind of bouncing off of the one with you where Bart's like, "My parents are getting divorced," but instead, "All my problems are my parents' fault."
Yeah.
And like as somebody that like has parental trauma, I'm like, I get it. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
Oh, another one of the narcolepsy bits is when Burns walks into Simpson's office. He goes, "Simpsons, where are your shoes?" And Homer just goes, "Narcolepsy." And Burns goes, "Oh, sorry,
Yes.
sorry."
Like backs out like,
Right, he's
"Oh,
like,
no."
I'm so sorry. But now every time Burns recognizes Homer or like knows his name, I'm like, How come sometimes you don't, man? How come?
I know, right? It's like such a disservice to the earlier
I
seasons. Come
know.
on.
Come on. Um, I was so initially when I watched this episode, to be fair, this is my second time watching it before this because I watched it once just for funsies. And I was not expecting Marge to walk in on that double date. It
Oh
was
my God,
it
yes.
was like perfect, obviously, but like I just was not expecting it. And when she did, I was like, but what?
But that does help, like, bring it to Marge's
It
dream. Like,
does.
that was the one thing, though, and I
I
was like, we were
know.
in Homer's lair for so
No,
long, to then switch it to Marge, I'm like,
I
"What?"
don't like the whole idea of it being like a dream within a dream within a dream within a
Tattoo.
tattoo. Like that was absolutely stupid. I think it could have just been, I don't know, even if Homer just woke up at the therapist's office and we went from there. Like that would have been a better episode. I don't know
Yeah,
why they had to go so extreme.
I
Um
agree.
so at one point, um who is she? Candace, is that right? Yeah, Candace, who's played by Leah Dunham. She orders a Scorpino from Mo, and I don't know what that was. I looked it up. It sounds delicious. I'm going to read you the recipe. Everybody, get out your pens and papers. This is a summer treat. It is 3
Ooh,
tablespoons of lemon sherbet, half an ounce of vodka, 1 ounce of prosecco, and 1 lemon wedge for garnish.
that sounds delicious.
Doesn't it?
That's a that's like a prosecco, that's like a mimosa. Wait, that's like a
with,
mimosa.
with sherbets.
Yeah,
I was like, that sounds delightful.
that sounds really good. I really want one now.
Better
And I just want
hurry.
ice cream.
You just want ice cream? Well, go get ice cream.
Well, all of the above.
In
Can I
this,
have all the above?
yeah, you can have it all in this 80-degree fall weather.
Thank you. Thank you. And post flu.
And post flu, you can have whatever you want, baby.
Hell yeah, drop 10 pounds.
No,
Just,
go.
dropping my insides out. Gross.
I don't know why we always end up talking about poop on this show. It's been happening a lot.
It's a interesting subject.
We talk about it all, everybody.
Yes, yes. I feel like in your 20s you talk a lot about sex, and in your 30s you talk a lot about poop.
Yes. Yes, you do. So if anybody here is not in their 30s yet, you get ready.
Yeah. It goes from sexy time to poopy time. We are not using that.
Oh my god, I can't. Okay.
Delete it.
Delete it!
Delete it all.
I have one more thing, and it
Yeah.
has nothing to do with this episode at all. But my little neurodivergent brain was like, what the fuck reason is Itchy and Scratchy here for? Like, what the fuck? They just like showed up one day and like the episodes are just like so gory and like I don't think they're funny. And I'm like, what is the point of this? At one point we talked a little bit about how you know, they came about because they were time fillers. Like they needed to fill the episode more, and so they
Yeah.
came they did some Itchy and Scratchies. But I dived deeper. I went deep into this shit.
How
And
deep did you go?
so deep, I was like all up in that. As a as a child, series creator Matt Groening and his friends would fantasize about an ultra-violent cartoon and how much fun it would be to work on a show like that. And so they added that in, and it's also, I have a quote that says, it's an ironic commentary on cartoon mayhem in the sense that it's taken to a more realistic level.
A realistic level.
Yeah, wait, what?
Yeah, Itchy and Scratchy, a realistic level? I'm sorry.
I think
His
when,
eyeballs and his like spine coming out with all of his organs and falling out of a building, and then his body like eating it back up is how is that realistic?
no, you're right. I wrote it and I was like, yeah, no, that makes sense because like it's just, I think it's just super gory. I don't think it's realistic at all. You're right. It's
No, I think it's surrealism. Like it's absurdist. That's right.
yes,
Yeah, it's absurdist.
it's gory absurdist.
Yeah.
Anyway, too long didn't read. When Matt Groening was just a lad, he wanted to be on a very gory cartoon show, and so he made one into the Simpsons cartoon show. And there you go. End of story.
Okay. There was this show on Netflix me and my roommate watched. It was like cute little animals, but they were murderous.
Yes. Oh my God.
What was
The
that?
tree something.
Yes, yes. Tree something.
Tree something.
It was
Tree, not tree house, tree huggers, maybe tree.
Hold on.
I know you're looking it up. I want to see if I can figure it out. Tree. I just keep saying tree. I don't know.
I got it.
What is it?
Happy Tree Friends.
Happy Tree Friends.
Matt, you could have had Happy Tree Friends.
He coulda.
But you didn't.
I know.
These things are scary though.
I know. I never really watched them because I was like, oh, they kind of scare me. I don't like it.
They're so gory.
They're so gory. It's so off-putting because they're so cute, and I'm just like, "Argh."
I know, right? But also kind of funny because of that. But yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway.
any fun facts you found out about this episode?
Lena Dunham voices pharmacy clerk and Dream Homer's love interest Candace, as we mentioned earlier. The final scene with a strange couple in bed is a crossover moment with her HBO show Girls from 2012 and features two of the main characters from that show, including Adam Driver.
Though not voiced. He was not voiced by Adam Driver.
He was not voiced by Adam Driver, though?
Was he? For like that one-liner?
I thought it was him.
All right, let's... wait, what is this? Everyman's Dream? Okay, come on.
Adam Driver, voice.
He voiced that one scene?
Yes.
Oh my God. I was like,
Yes.
for sure they didn't, like, get Adam Driver. Like, no. Like, he's not gonna do, like, a one-liner, like...
Oh, they got Adam Driver, all right.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Well, that just goes to show why I shouldn't assume. With The Simpsons especially, I shouldn't assume.
I mean, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't,
Yeah, but, like, I should assume that they do. Unless I'm otherwise told, like, the whole Alf bit and how the voice of Alf was like, why didn't you ask me to come be on the show?
Oh, yeah.
And I wonder, maybe that's why. So, like, anytime there's, like, a cameo of, like, the original character, maybe they reach out to that actor and they're like, hey, do you want to do this? And if they say no, it's like, cool, we're just gonna, And
maybe he put up a big stink about it, or they just felt really bad.
Maybe. Or Leah Dunham was like, no, I'll get him to do it.
Yeah. Oh, May, my, moo, what?
Well, Janice is still delirious.
Yeah, delirious. I meant to say, oh my.
Oh my. All right. Anything else? Anything else?
I don't know. I don't think so. Like this just wasn't a very entertaining episode for me. And maybe it's because I didn't watch Girls, but I also don't think that would have helped either.
No.
Even though these characters were voiced, by them, and the final scene, like, is a tie to that. It just didn't make sense to me. It was very Inception-like with a dream within a dream quality, but I think it could have been executed better. Like you said, Alyssa, with waking up at the marriage counselor's office, I think that would have been a way better ending, or beginning to a dream sequence, and doing like dream within a dream within a dream within a dream, or keep it all Homer's dreams.
Yeah.
Or all Marge's dreams, or flip halfway from Homer to Marge.
Yeah, the second they got to Marge's dream, I was like, this is so fucking stupid. Like, why would you start off by being like, Homer has narcolepsy, and then Marge had dreamed it all? Like, you've already set a precedence that Homer's falling asleep a lot, so it would make sense that he's having dreams within dreams within dreams. Like, you gave that to us, and then you just decided not to use it.
Mm-hmm. And then, why would Marge dream about Homer, like, wanting a divorce or getting a divorce?
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't...
It doesn't make sense. Doesn't
No. Homer wouldn't want the divorce.
Mm-mm.
It'd be Marge, 1000%. I don't know. It's just weird to me.
Yeah, I don't. No.
Yeah,
Would
it
you
didn't
would you
fit.
keep this? Yeah, would you keep this at a 5.6? Higher,
No.
lower? No.
Well, no. I put it lower.
Okay.
I put it lower. I put it like a 5.0.
Solid. Okay.
Yeah. What about you? How would you rate this episode?
Yes. Gonna go crazy here. I would actually rate it at like a 6.2. Cause up until
Wow.
like here's if I watch it up until Marge wakes up, I love it. It's a good episode. I think that there's bits and pieces that are like goofy and funny, and you get to see, I don't know, it's like the side of these two people that like you normally don't get to see. Like when the kids grow up, it's like interesting to watch because you don't get to see Homer and Marge dating other people, and I think that that's, I don't know, something that I want that different when I watch this. And so while the episode itself, is not great, I think it's not horrible. Like Boys of Bummer is way worse than this.
Oh, yeah. I forgot what I rated Boys of Bummer, but this would be above that, I would think. Yeah. It just didn't hit for me.
Then that's
like,
totally
I just didn't
fair.
understand it.
I mean, yeah, it gets really confusing. I just think that there were enough moments for me, at least personally, that like made me giggle. That I'm like, I can't rate this so low because I did kind of enjoy it.
Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah, and that's why we do these podcasts.
Exactly. We can have differences of opinions and still be friends.
Yes. Yeah, friends for now.
For now.
Bum, bum, bum.
Yes. Okay. Do you have any other thoughts about the episode or about anything at all?
Here are some of my thoughts. Albert Brooks is a wonderful comedian, and he did some great things in the 80s. And if you're looking to watch some Albert Brooks movies that is not Finding Nemo, and yes, he plays Marlin in Finding Nemo, now you know, you should watch Mother with Debbie Reynolds, and you should watch Defending Your Life with a young Meryl Streep.
We love all those people.
And that is my little Albert Brooks time.
I love it. We love a plug for a good actor.
What about you? Any final thoughts?
Any final thoughts? I just love Albert Brooks. I mean, what a freaking great character. I mean, Hank Scorpio, like, I would work for him 1000%.
Oh my god.
I mean, rule the world. Do your villain thing as long as you have a motive for you being right, on the other hand. You're not just doing it for evil.
Yes.
I don't know. Otherwise, I'd have to live ignorantly in bliss. But I would work for Hank Scorpio.
Yes.
That office culture seems awesome.
We love Hank Scorpio. Oh wait, hon, this dates me.
Oh, my gift hearts! Did you see that?
What if I do it like the Gen Z way? It doesn't get it? Oh, it doesn't get it. Sorry, Gen Z.
Do it the millennial way. Yay! It's so cute.
For those of you that are just listening and not watching on YouTube, the Riverside, that studio we use to film this, if you do weird hand gestures, it will like do stuff. And I made a heart, and it made hearts. And you can do thumbs up, and it'll do thumbs ups. Or I think if you do peace sign, it's like balloons. It's weird, but it only works for me for some reason.
It only works for you. Ah, sad.
One day.
Well, you'll have to live it for both of us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Confetti!
Nice! Peace signs give confetti.
Which exciting! All right.
We love to play. Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah, so what are your... Okay, we should probably talk about this. We are pretty far into our bracket now. We're about to be halfway.
We are.
What do you think of the results so far for the tops and flops?
I'm mad about one.
Which one are you mad about?
I'm mad about Homer Badman.
You know, I have feelings about that too. I think this was rigged.
I think this was rigged.
And we made it.
Yeah!
Like, listeners, you gotta vote, because if you are, what?
Dislike.
I disagree with you, but that's okay. It's very interesting that
I know, it
Homer
is
Badman
It is very interesting.
is above Homer the
Great.
Great. It's just so
So
interesting.
mad about that. But, whatever. People voted. The people's choice,
Yeah, people's choice.
It's wrong, but, I'll respect it.
We respect you, but you're wrong.
All right, Janice.
Oh, that's funny.
Take us out. Wait, unless you wanted to talk more about them. I was just like, let's get the fuck out of here.
No, I think we're good.
Okay.
I think we're good. I think maybe we should do like just a live. We should maybe do an Instagram live one day or a TikTok live just talking about the bracket instead of
just posting
putting it on. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that
Because I
idea.
feel like people are more likely to tune in, or we could also like put that on the YouTube or whatever.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Just different.
Yeah. All right, Janice.
Yes.
Let's get out of here.
All right. So, do you, the audience, agree or disagree with these ratings? Please let us know on our Instagram. We do polls every Tuesday and Friday. No, every other Tuesday and Friday. Please vote on these polls because it really helps us gauge where your favorite episodes lie, and it helps us just, I don't know, reflect on our own decisions and our own conversations.
And make us upset, but that's okay.
And make us upset. Yeah, it's really interesting to see some of the results for sure. So please vote on our polls. If you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel or following us on Instagram at Animated Tops and Flops, that's pretty consistent on everything, including Spotify. So follow us. And if you don't like this podcast, then don't.
I mean, that's a good point. Like, if you don't like it, that's cool.
Yeah, if you don't like it, then you didn't hear it. What was I watching the other day before my delirium? The Circle. Oh my god.
Circle? I love The Circle. Well, I only really love the first season, but still, I love The Circle.
I love The Circle. I think it's a really fun, like, modern game show that's very strategic. And the one guy said, I think his name is Darian, he was like, what is understood doesn't have to be explained. And I was like, ooh, that's a good hashtag. So,
so hashtag.
All right. Hashtag. Okay. Thank you so much for listening. As always, please follow us on Instagram, YouTube, Spotify if you aren't already. And if you want to hear more opinions about these episodes, we will be gearing towards Bob's Burgers in season 2. So if that's what you're waiting for, it ain't too far away. Definitely vote on those polls on Instagram too. We love to hear your opinions. We love to see where your interests lie. We were very surprised by Homer Badman beat Homer the Great for a top. So they will be moving to the semifinals. Make sure to vote. Alyssa,
yes.
would you like to
let's tell y'all about our next episode. Alrighty, our next episode is going to be our top, which is season 4, episode 17, Last Exit to Springfield, and our flop, season 13, episode 17, Gump Roast.
Such an interesting name.
I couldn't even tell you what these episodes are about based on their names. Sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, like Springfield Files. I'm like, I know this episode. I could not tell you either of these.
Yeah,
it'll be fun.
It's we're gonna learn because I don't remember either.
Yay! It's gonna be an exciting adventure for all of us.
Absolutely.
So we'll see you next week, everyone.
Yeah, see you next week. Smell you later.